Number 6. Call of the void. The French gave this experience a much cooler name, l'appel du vide, the call of the void, which sounds poetic and mysterious and definitely like a metal album recorded in a basement. But the name tricks people into thinking the void is calling you. Like the universe slid into your DMs and said, hey, leap. That's not what's happening. What's actually happening is that your brain is obsessed with control. It loves knowing where your body ends and where the danger begins. When you're near something extreme, a cliff, a speeding train, an open highway, your brain runs a quick inventory. I could step forward. I could let go. I could lose control. And that realization hits hard because it reminds you that free will exists. And that's terrifying. Your brain doesn't like open-ended power, so it flashes the possibility at you, immediately followed by fear, so you'll back away. The fear is the point. The thought is just the spark. That's why the urge is usually paired with instant recoil. Your stomach drops. Your muscles tense. You step back like the floor just insulted your family. That's not desire. That's your nervous system slamming the brakes. Ironically, people who experience this are often very much not suicidal. They're alert, imaginative, high awareness types. Their brains are running high-resolution simulations all the time. So when the void calls, it's not inviting you. It's reminding you that you're alive, fragile, and very much interested in staying that way. Basically, your survival instinct just uses terrible phrasing. Number 5. The myth of the true self. A lot of the fear around the void instinct comes from a quiet belief people don't talk about, the idea that your thoughts reveal your true self. So, when your brain produces something disturbing, you assume it must be a confession. But your brain is not a diary. It's a suggestion box that never closes and accepts anonymous submissions from every survival circuit you've ever evolved. You are not your thoughts. You're the thing that notices them and decides what to do next. If thoughts equaled identity, everyone would be a monster. People imagine violence, embarrassment, disaster, and absurdity constantly. Most of it never aligns with their values or intentions. The void instinct doesn't reveal a hidden urge to self-destruct. It reveals a brain capable of imagination and risk assessment, which is exactly what kept your ancestors from walking off cliffs on purpose. Basically, if your thoughts defined you, humanity wouldn't have made it past fire. Number 4. Your brain's worst PR department. The biggest reason this thought messes with people is that your brain has zero public relations skills. It doesn't label thoughts. It doesn't attach disclaimers. It just throws raw data at you and leaves you to emotionally process the mess. So instead of saying, hey, this is dangerous, please maintain distance, it hands you an unfiltered mental image of jumping and goes silent. And you're left there thinking, why would I imagine that unless I wanted it? But your brain imagines things all the time without your consent. You imagine swerving into traffic, shouting something inappropriate in a quiet room, dropping your phone into the ocean on purpose. None of these are plans. They're intrusive simulations, mental stress tests. Think of it like your brain playing a horror trailer inside your head, not because it wants the movie to happen, but because fear is an effective teaching tool. The problem is that modern humans are extremely self-aware. You don't just have a thought, you analyze it, interrogate it, and put it on trial. And the void instinct does not survive cross-examination. So you spiral. You wonder if the thought means something deeper, something dark, something you should worry about. Most of the time, it means your brain noticed a hazard and screamed internally. Basically, your mind is like a smoke alarm that also whispers conspiracy theories, loud, alarming, and completely uninterested in context. Number 3. Control panic. Here's the part nobody warns you about. The void instinct isn't really about falling. It's about control, or more accurately, the sudden realization that you have it. Most of the time, your brain runs your body on autopilot. Walking, standing, balancing, no conscious effort required. You don't actively choose not to fling yourself into traffic every day. You just don't. But when you're near a ledge or a fast-moving object, autopilot glitches for half a second. Your brain goes, wait, this is optional, and that realization is deeply uncomfortable because now the safety of your body depends on you continuing to choose correctly. There's no invisible force field, no lock, just a decision. And your brain hates that kind of open-ended responsibility. So it generates a dramatic thought to snap you back into awareness. You could jump, not as a suggestion, more like a reminder of stakes. It's the mental equivalent of your brain grabbing you by the shoulders and saying, hey, focus, physics is nearby. That's why this thought often happens during calm moments. You're relaxed, distracted, half daydreaming, and your brain doesn't trust that version of you near danger. So it panics on your behalf. Basically, the void instinct is your brain temporarily revoking autopilot and forcing manual control using psychological jump scares. Number 2, the balcony thought. You're standing on a balcony. It's peaceful. Maybe there's a breeze. Maybe you're holding a coffee you paid too much for. And then, out of nowhere, your brain whispers, you could jump. Not you want to. Not you should. Just, you could. And immediately you panic. Because what kind of unhinged thought is that? You weren't sad. You weren't reckless. You were literally just vibing. So why did your own mind briefly turn into a chaotic goblin pressing the what if button? This is the classic version of the void instinct. Psychologists sometimes call it an intrusive thought, but that label doesn't do justice to how personal it feels. It feels like a suggestion, like a tiny internal narrator leaned in and tested a microphone. Here's the twist. That thought is not a death wish. It's the opposite. Your brain isn't encouraging you to jump. It's doing a rapid safety check. Your survival system sees a big drop and goes, noted, falling here would be catastrophic. Avoid. But your conscious brain only hears the notification, not the intent behind it. It's like your phone buzzing to warn you about low battery, and you responding by accusing it of wanting to die. Your brain evolved to simulate dangers quickly, before language, before logic, before OSHA regulations. It runs fast, rough drafts of reality. Edge equals danger. Sometimes that warning comes out translated poorly, like a bad auto caption. And because humans are meaning-making machines, you assume the thought says something about you, your morals, your mental health, your secret inner desires. It doesn't. It says something about gravity. Basically, your brain saw a cliff, panicked professionally, and forgot to explain itself. Number 1. Misread signals. One of the most uncomfortable parts of the void instinct is how easily it gets confused with desire. The thought shows up, and before you can blink, your brain asks, wait, did I want that? That question alone can spiral you into an existential audit. But here's the thing. Your brain doesn't label thoughts as alerts or wants. It just produces content, and your conscious mind, obsessed with meaning, tries to reverse engineer intent from a single frame. It's like pausing a movie on a weird facial expression and deciding the entire plot based on that one freeze frame. Intrusive thoughts don't arrive with emotional context. They arrive raw. And when the content is extreme, like jumping into nothingness, it hijacks your attention. Your brain then does something deeply unhelpful. It monitors itself. Why did I think that? What if I think it again? What if thinking it means something? Congratulations. You've just turned a harmless safety glitch into a recurring mental pop-up. The void instinct feeds on overinterpretation. The more you treat the thought like evidence, the louder it feels. Not because it's important, but because your brain now thinks it is. Basically, the thought isn't the problem. Your reaction to the thought is the echo chamber.